なアルとマイクみたいになりたい。でも電話してくれない。大倉の音、ブックレンドから世界チャンピオン、バーチャルプローズ始まるよ。バーチャルプローズ。
To my motherfucking man, 50 grand, the alcoholic man, and jack a tall can in his bloodstream if he can. Biggie Smalls, the stroker, MC provoker, chocolate tie smoker, huh? I like to max and Maximas and Acuras. Your girl butt cheeks, I'm smacking, huh? The raw rapper, spine snapper, with the little, cause all my lap shot, the ball, I ain't your fucking comforter. And if I ever fall in love, I bet I'm fucking her. Ask the if I didn't choke her. If she try to front, then I drop the...
Episode 79 of That World Champion Sound Virtual Pros Podcast. My name is Al, a.k.a. Henny Omega, a.k.a. The Bandman, a.k.a. Bougie Nagata, a.k.a. Two Phone Scorpio, a.k.a. Super Brazy, a.k.a. Pete Gas, Break Dip Dip, a.k.a. No Speak Broke Boy, Kami Shinsuke Stack a Millup, and with me, one half of the Holy Scheming Army, one half of Blemolition, one half of the Heavenly Thotties, one half of the Bread Hunters, my main oos, Mike.
Hey, what's up, sirs? It's Mike, a.k.a. Tim Tam Bigelow, a.k.a. Nick Glockwinkle, a.k.a. Takoyaki Hanma, a.k.a. Wavy Boy Smith.
Today's topic, the Wrestle Kingdom 13 review. Listen to Al and Mike chit-chat about the January Classic. Hit us on Twitter and Instagram at VRTL Pros. Hit us on SoundCloud. Hit that heart. You know I like it. Hit us on iTunes. Leave a 5-star review and subscribe if you haven't already. We just hit 70 reviews, which is crazy. And also, if you have Spotify, peep us on that as well. If you want to participate, email us at virtualpros64@gmail.com. Mike, we got some emails. You mind starting off with that first one?
Sure. Just a little warning for everybody out there that's listening to this. We just took a little hiatus, so a lot of these emails are about a month old, so they might just reference outdated shit that you don't even remember because it was a month ago, and who even remembers things that happened a month ago? But the first email is from Jeffrey. It's called Balconies and Restaurants. What's up, Vert Bags? Not sure how far behind I am in getting this email with your Wackola recording schedule. However, I just wanted to shout out two things. One, sitting in the balcony is the best way to see wrestling at my ripe old age. This references, I talked about going to AAW a couple months ago, and I got to sit in the balcony. But anyways, to move on, not been up top at the Logan Square Auditorium yet, though that is a fantastic venue. But my honey and I experienced balcony seating at both the CEO New Japan event in Daytona Beach and the Progress show in Cicero in August. Cicero is a part of Illinois, if I've learned. And I gotta say, being able to actually see everything going on and not deal with fuckheads trying to act like they're the cat's nads is totally worth not being right up close to the action. And I guess we got lucky as we could see literally everything. So yeah, balcony seating every time if you can swing it. 2, Al, I don't know if you'll see this before going to Japan. I don't think so. But you asked about wrestler restaurants, and I'm pretty sure Dangerous K Toshiaki Kawada will hook you up with some ramen at his joint, though I couldn't begin to tell you the name or location of it. Didn't know Kaiji Muto had one as well, so gonna have to look that one up. Toru Yanu's got a bar somewhere too, for what it's worth. Anyway, keep on wilding out in 2019, and hope you all enjoyed Wrestle Kingdom 13. Yours, etc., Jeffrey, aka Strong Style Story, aka Fanta Kobashi, aka Ritter World of Sport, aka half of the Dynamic Ludes. Yes, this was an email. I will, maybe Al has more stories about the restaurants in Japan. I am did not know Toru Yano had one, so if I knew that, I'd probably go to his bar. Although, have you been there, Al, by any chance?
I've walked by his bar, but I didn't partake in drinks at his bar.
Even though he's kind of a character, I would just, for whatever reason in my mind, I'd imagine he'd have like the normal bar where it's just like, oh, this isn't really anything special. But I'm probably wrong. But for some reason, I just imagine he's still a guy who has a career. So he's probably just like, oh, I'll invest in a bar. Yeah, I don't think he's like one of these retired people. So I don't know, but I'm probably completely wrong.
I was reading, I guess, Japan's version of Yelp, and they had pictures of Toshiaki Kawada's ramen. And those pieces of chashu are so fucking big. I don't know if I'd be into that. It just looks like 2 pieces of like ribeye in a bowl of soup. And I can understand why he got that big, but not for me. I did find out that Bushi has a fried chicken restaurant after my trip. And I was kind of bummed about not being able to eat there. But yeah, the Keiji Mudo barbecue restaurant didn't happen. I didn't do anything wrestling related eats wise. So kind of a bummer. Next up is from my man Dan, titled Holy Cow. Is this one we can do on air? Hold on. Not really. It's just photos. Yeah. They're funny.
There was he referenced, there was a tweet made a few weeks ago by, Charm City 25. I think he's a notorious creep on the internet. And, he tweeted defending himself that it's okay to call, what's her name? Oh, Izzy. It's okay to call Izzy cute, because that's okay. I think he might have made it, either left Twitter after that or deleted it or like made it private or something. But yeah, it is not ever okay to be a grown person and call a little 11-year-old girl you don't know in real life cute. That's pretty fucked up. So yeah, that email references that.
Also, I thought I'd shout out Joe with regards to providing a list of wrestler-owned food and drinks in Tokyo. I appreciate the effort, man. Maybe next time I'll peep it.
Joe had the Bushi fried chicken place, which is of interest. I also, Bad Luck Fale has a coffee spot. I also don't know Bad Luck Fale, big Trump supporter. That's real weird, not being from America, and I don't know, but...
I have a story about Bad Luck Fale. He had a little pre-party for Wrestle Kingdom at his place, and a friend of the show, Stash Pages, he walked up to that place, and they all looked at him, and he just turned right around and walked away. And that's probably what I would have done as well, because if there's one thing I didn't want to do in Japan, that's to attend the pre-party for Wrestle Kingdom at a Bad Luck Fale sponsored party. I gotta be honest. I'll take the email from Casey, titled Sal B wanna wrestle? I don't know if that's someone's government, so I'm not gonna say the fucking last name. Yo, what up, Alan Mike? I got 2 topics I'd like to hear both of your takes on. First off, David Arquette and his wild-ass association with wrestling culture. How the hell does this dork from a sad attempt at a wrestling-oriented film end up having a championship run as a WCW champ, and then out of nowhere in 2018 is in a blood-soaked death match with Nick Gage? If y'all haven't touched on this by now, I'm currently listening to episode 74. I'd love to have y'all touch on that. Secondly, let's talk about wrestling taglines that stuck out to you in WWE, WCW, and ECW. For me, Sting's Fatal Encounter always sounded super badass. Also, the Shoehorn's Mortal Kombat gimmick, Glacier, and his Blood Runs Cold tagline seemed too cool for that time in WCW. Both to me sound like they're begging to be EP titles to some local bar circuit Hatebreed clone. That's all, pros. No AKAs, because I didn't want to lose more sleep on thinking about this email. Thanks for putting out the best wrestling podcast in the game. And thanks, Casey. We did talk about that because I actually saw that shit in real life with David Arquette just leaking all around LA. And I didn't really think about Ready to Rumble or his WCW run. I just thought about this movie star that was in Scream just getting cut up by Nick Gage. And so, I don't know, they kind of just exist on 2 different planes for me personally. In terms of favorite wrestling taglines, I like Heath Slater being the one-man band. That's kind of cool. I don't know if they called... Well, so Great Muta had like a really nice New Japan t-shirt line, and like they put all kinds of taglines on those t-shirts. Like they call him the Shadow Warrior. I don't know if they called him that for real, like Mystical Lair. I thought those taglines were pretty sweet. So those are my answers.
Since this email was written, I've become, well, actually, I guess it was after the email was written, but I have become close personal friends with David Arquette in real life. We're great friends now. And
oh, shit.
I'm just kidding. No, I met him at House Hardcore. He's a cool guy, though. But I think it's pretty cool. That match that Al saw, I think David Arquette's a real one, man. He's really into it because he doesn't need to be doing this dumb shit, and he's doing it.
Yeah.
As far as taglines, I don't really have any. I don't think. I can't think of. They're like, where the big boys play. That was one. I don't really like that much. There's the get the F out when that happened.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. But yeah, no, none of that shit really stuck with me. Is this email from Emily an email?
No, not really.
No. Okay. Justin, is that an email? Yes.
That's a total email.
He never wrote us back either, that motherfucker. Justin, multi-time belt buyers. Hey guys, I was recently lucky enough to learn that WWE's online marketing team has marketing content specifically made for a segment of their customers that they refer to internally as multi-time belt buyers. There are currently a bit over 100 members of this currently exclusive group. This seems kind of low to me personally, but it seems like they haven't been tracking the data for very long. Knowing that this is not only an audience that exists, but one of the WWE dedicates resources to market despite their relatively small size, I'm wondering what you think the most one of these multi-time belt buyers spent over 2018 was. I can send a follow-up email with the answer and other interesting multi-time belt buyer statistics if interested. Thanks, burner email. So hopefully, sorry if I read your name and I wasn't supposed to read it, but it's too late. AKA Jushin Thunder Ligma, AKA Ligma Zabisco, AKA Ligma Park, aka Ligma Rush, aka Dominic Ligmavic, aka Jerry Ligma, aka Kerry Von Ligma, aka Ligma Mike Quackenbush. Was that one of your crazy words, Al?
I'm aware of the Ligma, dude, and I'm not gonna fall for it, Justin. All right.
Yeah, I don't know what that fucking means. So, this is incredible news. This email. This is a fucking great thing. I can see why they would dedicate so much marketing towards them though, because they're probably fucking rich if they're multi-time belt buyers. So I think WWE wants to hold on to any wealthy fans they have, because they probably only have, the wealthy fans are probably in a minority. So they probably want to hold on to them as much as they have. As far as how much they've spent over 2018 was, I would have to again assume there has to be at least one person out there that's buying every belt that they come out with. So however many belts, like 12 or whatever they came out in 2018 times 400 or whatever it is, I guarantee somebody has spent that. I've asked him to write us back, so hopefully he writes us back with some more statistics.
I'm gonna call bullshit because there's like a ceiling to how many belts you can buy, right? There's only so many titles, so why would they create a team for that? That's ridiculous.
They're forever updating them. So if you're like in this culture, I think they know this shit, and it's just like every few months they have like an updated version, and they have like the toy belt now, and then they have like the replica, and now they have like a super deluxe replica. Like people are always spending money. This probably also includes all the people who buy the side plates, and they're always coming out with those too.
Okay, I can see the side plate thing, but are there like premium leather backing belts? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, there are now. Yeah.
That's interesting. Sort of. Yeah, write us back, Justin. I guess I'm curious now. Next up is from Colette, titled The Beefer. Pros, sorry for the Border Boss crossover question, but Mike's chatter about the Taco Bell beefer and my spending last year watching late 80s WWF has me wondering, do y'all think Gorilla Monsoon called Brutus the Barber Beefcake the beefer because he loved the Taco Bell beefer, or because he hated the Taco Bell beefer? There is no third option. Gorilla looked like a Taco Bell dude through and through. Colette, no AKAs. Mike, this is for you. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know, man. I was not, when Gorilla Monsoon was a guy, I was not aware that Taco Bell existed. So it's hard for me to imagine Gorilla Monsoon being a Taco Bell person, because it just wasn't in my life at that point. So, but it makes sense though. Now I really believe maybe Gorilla Monsoon heard of the Taco Bell beefer and said, I'm going to call Brutus Barber Beefcake that. And it makes sense.
What does the beefer consist of?
Oh, somebody doesn't follow Retro Food Ghoul on Instagram.
I saw your seafood salad, dude. I don't know if you made the beefer, though.
I made the beefer little. All the beefer is Taco Bell meat and lettuce and tomato just on a hamburger bun.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah. It was pretty good. I made like a deluxe version with like real ingredients on it, and it was pretty fucking good. Next email is
I think Nick is the last one, yeah.
Nick is next to the last email. Kayfabe plate mystery solved. This was the dude who wrote in, I believe last episode, that left us with the mystery of the NXT parking lot kayfabe vanity plate. And we all had our guesses. And then as soon as the episode was published, I think 1 billion people guessed the right answer. But here's the official statement from Nick here. Sup, Alan Mike. I totally forgot to give you all the answer to the mystery of the cringiest license plate in the Full Sail parking lot in my last email. The kayfabe plate belongs to none other than Steve Corino. Not sure how to feel about that, to be honest. I was all in for Cassius Ohno. Anyways, I got another question for you guys. Long story short, at the last NXT tapings, I ended up with an authentic ring-worn Velveteen Dream crop top. If there are any kids around me, I would have handed it off as a souvenir, but I was in a sea of clubbelos, so now I'm stuck with it. I have no idea what the fuck I'm gonna do with another man's belly shirt, but Virtual Pros has always been heavy on the sniff talk, so I got another question for y'all. What do you think the Velveteen Dream smells like? Nick, aka Shuji Kondo number 9. I think every wrestler on the WWE level just smells like either like baby oil or various kind of plain lotions or tanning spray. Just a very kind of, I wouldn't say medical, but a very kind of neutral, oily lotion smell, basically, because I just feel like they're all just getting dolled up backstage because they have that luxury. So I imagine a lot of just kind of like nondescript oils or lotions.
Someone that buff can't stink. So although I can't give you like a specific like smell profile, I bet you the Velveteen Dream smells pretty good. I don't know what cologne. Maybe a Polo Sport. I'm not sure, but he doesn't stink. That's for sure. No
right back with that answer, Nick. Right back. I gotta know.
Yeah, let us know. Give us a sniff on that shirt. If you want to participate in the next episode, email us at virtualpros64@gmail.com. 2-man scramble time, Mike. I got some topics. My first one, I guess not really a topic, but I was on vacation while this article posted, but shout out to No Echo and Nick Woj of Cold World fame. He interviewed us a while back, so if you're interested in knowing the ins and outs of Mike and I's wrestling fandom, or if you just wondered why we do what we do with Virtual Pros, peep that interview on No Echo. Mike, were you happy with how that turned out?
I did not read it, but I'm very happy with it, how it turned out. I'm sure it's great. Yeah. We've been over this last time I got interviewed on something. I'm not a big, I don't want to read it because I'm just going to be like, oh, I came off like such an asshole, and then I'm going to like judge myself. So I'm sure it was great. No one had to send any statements out upon me about what I said in the interview. So I'm sure it was fucking wonderful. A few, like a good amount of people had like nice things to say. So, thank you so much. It's been a very, very long time since I've been in any type of print interview, and it's kind of crazy that a podcast would get a print interview because it's an audio format. So it's pretty cool. And No Echo, I think I made this joke on Twitter maybe, or maybe on Instagram, but I think every single one of my friends in my life has been on No Echo at some point. So it's finally good to join the club for being on No Echo and not even being in a hardcore band.
My next topic, I'm really excited about this, Mike. I thought I'd gauge your interest too. The Royal Rumble and NXT. It's this weekend. How hype are you for it?
I was like pretty much zero hype up until I decided to watch Raw last night, and it got me a little hype. This is probably the least interested I've been in the literal Royal Rumble in years, but I'm pretty pumped for the Finn Balor Brock Lesnar match and the Becky Lynch and Asuka match, but for this year I'm not that hyped on the actual Rumbles outside of possibly winning money.
Yeah, the gambling aspect is always something I look forward to. Takeover, I'm in the middle. I'm very interested on how.
Oh yeah, Takeover. Yeah, I haven't watched any NXT in like this whole entire cycle. So, and I'm going to AAW that night, so I don't even know if I'm going to watch Takeover.
Yeah, Takeover. I'm in the middle about. Even though I'm very interested in the Shayna Baszler Bianca Belair match.
Yeah,
that could predict how good WrestleMania could be if I get an Io Shirai Bianca Belair showdown. For the Mania takeover, but I'm lukewarm on it. The Rumble card though, that shit is stacked, man. I was actually toying with the idea of going to Arizona because one, it's on a baseball field, and two, that card is really deep. Balor, Lesnar looks really good. AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan should be good too. Sasha Banks, Rousey, also very interested. And plus, you get 2 Rumbles, so I'm high on this one. Also gambling, so we'll see.
Yeah. And also TakeOver has Matt Riddle and Cassius Ohno, so it'd be good for them to have like an actual match.
Yeah, I agree. Kind of in a similar vein, we did an episode a while back about how we were picking like wrestling related things and like analyzing the worth in them. So it was announced while I was gone that AEW, that's going to be a thing. Yep. Are you buying? Are you selling? Or are you holding on this AEW thing?
I'm definitely buying on this. I think the first year of it is going to be not that great, but I think enough people are kind of like blind fans of these dudes that it'll probably carry it through these tough times. But I think if they make it through like the first year and they establish themselves, I'm going to sound like a fucking nerd, like a actual fucking nerd that does these fucking nerd podcasts. But no, I do think if they like establish themselves and they become a thing over that year, then they'll get more, higher profile wrestlers actually considering them over WWE. And, that'll be pretty cool. And I think it's somehow making ROH better, even though I don't think I'm ever going to watch the weekly ROH show. I don't even know if I have access to doing that, but, it seems like they're hiring pretty cool people too.
I'm at a hold. I am very interested in this OWE getting some shine. I like that. I do think Hangman Page and Pac, aka Neville, that could be pretty hot. But if this promotion is like Monster of the Week with like the Young Bucks and Cody, oh my god, I couldn't change the channel faster. So I'm not at a complete buy. I'm not at a complete sell. But I'm interested. I'm curious. My last topic for Two Man Scramble. So recently, I'm pretty sure it was on the Fantastica Mania cards. Both Hiroshi Tanahashi and Kazuchika Okada, they wrestled under their characters that they played in the award-winning film My Dad is a Heel, which wasn't playing on my flight, and I was really pissed off about that. Tanahashi, he wrestled as Cockroach, while Okada wrestled as Dragon George. If you could choose any character that a wrestler has portrayed in a movie to enter the WWE universe, or a New Japan for that matter, who are you going with?
Man, that is an exceptionally great question. I feel like WWE kind of made John Cena more military-esque after he did the Marine.
Yeah.
And I feel like they try to do that shit with Kane, too, after he did See No Evil. So I think they're eliminated. Hornswoggle is already a leprechaun, so he doesn't count. They had Zeus play literal Zeus in wrestling. WWF has a good track record of already doing this, but I can't remember how bad or good the Big Show's character was in the critically acclaimed hit Knucklehead that he starred in. I know there was a lot of farting going on in that movie where he was doing farts and everybody was laughing, so that might work. I feel like there's probably like a fucking better answer somewhere down there, but I can't. I'm gonna have to go with Big Show as a default. Wait, what was that fucking? No, I lost it. There was some serious movie. Danny Glover, was that fucking John Cena? I can't remember, but yeah, I'm gonna just go default Big Show Knucklehead for now.
That's so funny you brought up John Cena and Kane, because I totally thought you're gonna go with See No Evil Kane as like. Yeah. Let's just go with like the twizziest version of Kane here for like a couple of. I mean,
weeks. They kind of went, when that movie came out, they kind of did that, but it was just, I think everybody kind of rolled their eyes at it, so they dropped it real quick.
John Cena from Trainwreck, that'd have been pretty funny. Like they should have just did that for a couple of weeks, where he was just like this weirdo bodybuilder that was like really conscious about himself.
Or his character, if anybody has ordered anything from Thrift Store Jobber, or his character from, unfortunately, little seen HBO mockumentary Tour de Pharmacy, where he plays like a fucking roided out Swedish man, is a pretty good character too. And I don't know why WWE, like, they never mentioned he was in that movie. I've never even heard John Cena talk about it, but that's one of his best roles. And it's just like, no one's seen that unless you have HBO Go and you're like really bored.
I have two very obvious ones. I would have loved to have seen Kevin Nash be Super Shredder for a little bit.
Yeah,
that'd have been fucking sick. Like even NWO Kevin Nash, just all of a sudden in like that fucking purple cape would have been sweet. Bonesaw would have been pretty sweet as well.
I was thinking about that. Yeah, Bonesaw.
But you brought it up. Big Show, but Captain Insano. I would love to see that. That'd be my favorite thing. Big Show, if you're listening, please come back. That was my last topic.
Okay, I kind of went on a wrestling hiatus since we've been on hiatus. I've watched wrestling, but I haven't like critically thought about wrestling.
Yeah. In
a way to make up topics. So I'll just talk about how I over this break I bought a Nintendo Switch.
Okay.
And this is a big step for me because I have not bought a Nintendo console since like while they were relevant, like while they were in that same generation.
Yeah.
Since the Super Nintendo. So this is like a big step for me. And I just want to tell everybody I've been enjoying the Nintendo Switch. I think it's a cool little system. It's so you have one. Do you ever play it on your TV?
No, never.
Okay.
I always play it on my couch laying down.
Yeah, so I was, I when I bought it, I wasn't really thinking about that part to it, and I was just like, I think people only play it on portable when they're on the train or something. But yeah, I've played it on TV maybe a handful of times. Like I like playing Mario Kart on TV, but everything else I'm pretty fine with just playing on the couch. So that's a cool aspect of it.
Did you get like super like 11-year-old good at Super Smash Brothers? Because I was playing with friend of the show, Dylan and Cam, and they beat the shit out of me. And I haven't played it since. I just got too discouraged. I feel like that happens with every Smash Brothers. Like it's a game I want to play, and it's a game that I think my nephews will come over and want to play, with me at. But I'm just not good at it. And I consider myself like pretty decent at fighters, but I get washed at Smash. Like, I heard you unlocked every single character. Is that true?
Yeah, I unlocked everything. I've also beaten Cam and Dylan before too, but
man,
no, I'm only like casually good at that game. Like, I started out the Smash Brothers won me over because when I was in New York last month, Mark, who does not listen to the show, brought it over the place I was staying. And I was like, this is pretty cool. I was like, I kind of always hated Smash Brothers because I don't think there's like a rhyme or reason to it. You just kind of bash buttons and hope for the best. But I really like the aspect of having this crazy thing where you have to unlock fucking 75 characters. So I was like, I'm down for this. I'm going to buy this because I wanted to buy a Switch anyways because there's a few games I wanted. And I'm not, as after I unlocked everybody, I'm just kind of like, it's kind of hard to just play your friends on the internet. You gotta like text them and stuff. So it's like kind of lost its luster, but I got like decent at it. I unfortunately every once in a while fall in a rabbit hole where I'll go online and see like an actual good player talking about Smash. And that has to be one of the dorkiest subcultures that I've ever come across. Like the way they talk about it, it's like they like do frame counts where they count the frames and just like, dude, it is too much. I'm just like, I don't want to be good at this game. I don't want to ever be good. But, yeah, I mean, I'm decent. I'm not that great. And it's only with like 2 people. Like everybody else, like I want to be really good with somebody stupid in the game, like Mr. Game & Watch or the Duck Hunt Dog. But the characters that are stupid in the game too.
Wait, so who's your main?
I use, the Kirby King Dedede, or sometimes I use Dark Zero Suit Samus.
Oh man, you're a pervert.
It's not because I think she's a babe or anything. It's just like, that's who I vibe with in the game, I guess. I don't know. Trust me, I've tried all of them. I really want to be good with somebody stupid, but all the stupid characters, like I want to be really good with Isabelle from Animal Crossing, but she's not a very good fighter. And the villager from Animal Crossing isn't too good. We Fit Trainer also not very good.
Yeah, for me, I bought this modern system and all I play is fucking Dr. Mario. So, that's my stance on the Nintendo Switch these days. It's a fun little system. If you haven't played it already, you gotta play Odyssey. I think that's the best Mario of all time.
I kind of went a little overboard as soon as I got it and bought like a bunch of games, and Odyssey was not in it, but I'm gonna wait.
What are you doing?
I got Mario Kart because my girlfriend could also play that, and it's just not me just constantly playing the Switch. So, I got Mario Kart over Odyssey, but that's my next one because everybody says that's like the one game you need to get.
That and Zelda, man, you have to do it.
Yeah, I'll probably break down and get Zelda too. That's the thing that kills me about Nintendo. It's still the same shit. Is they barely ever have sales. It's like, you pay this or you're not fucking playing.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. That's kind of shitty, but
That's definitely worth it. $60 though, dude. You gotta buy it.
yeah, I'll get it.
Anyway.
That's really it. I don't think I have any, I'm going to AAW this weekend. So, I'll talk about that in the next show, but that's going to be my first live show since, we took this break. Cause I think I don't even think I talked about House of Hardcore when I went to that, or that was like after I recorded. So it doesn't matter. I almost saw Big Cass die from a seizure, but that was about it. So.
Yeah, I think you texted us about it and I was like, oh man, Mike saw some foul shit. But we're going to talk about wrestling right now in a very dorky way. Cause today's topic, Mike, is a very timely Wrestle Kingdom 13 review. Listen to Al and Mike chit chat about the January Classic. Please stay tuned.
Hello, and welcome back to Virtual Pros episode 79, and we're here to talk about Wrestle Kingdom. Sure, no one's talked about this yet. They're still waiting for their DVDs to arrive from Japan in the mail. No one has seen it. Luckily, though, Al flew all the way to Japan just to watch Wrestle Kingdom 13. So, I'm gonna let him take this over because I'm sure you have a little prologue leading up to Wrestle Kingdom 13 and stuff you did in Japan that probably notable stuff that you could talk about. You don't have to, but I figured you could set the tone.
As a member of the culture, we got a lot of emails about how I landed these like crazy seats. So for those that don't know, New Japan, if you want to sit front row, you have to enter a raffle. And to enter a raffle, you have to sign up for their fan club. And so here's how I did it. Free of charge, guys. Thanks for tuning into Virtual Pros. Two things here. You need $50 to sign up for that New Japan fan club. That's one entry point. Two, you absolutely need to know somebody in Japan with an address that they can ship tickets to. So luckily, Yuri, I know she doesn't listen, but shout out to her because she let me use her address. I signed up for the New Japan fan club. That was not that difficult, but I think the biggest pain point in doing that is converting your English name into katakana. And there's some websites that'll do it for you, but it's that, and you need to have an address. And so, luckily enough,
is it just there's no way to put your English name in?
You can put your English name in, but it's a requirement that you have to put in your name in Japanese characters.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're no bum off the streets. So you really, you trick your way in here.
Exactly. So, it's funny, like my profile.
So not to get ahead of myself, but were you at all worried that you would sit down and they'd be like, yo, we know the deal. You're not Japanese. Get the fuck out.
For 4 months, I was like close to throwing up because after I won these tickets, I was like, they are gonna look at me and they're gonna say, you get the fuck up. You entered these raffles fraudulently. And I'll get to that right now. I guess this was the first year that for New Year's Dash, they had said that they were going to print your name on the ticket to prevent scalping. And so I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of weird. Like, out of all the years, you have to do it when I'm coming? What the fuck? But they did come around for both Wrestle Kingdom and New Year's Dash with like a clipboard, and they definitely wanted to see your ticket and your New Japan ID card. And so luckily enough, I had both, and they were cool with it. But yeah, like I said, like, those are really the only ways you can get these insane seats. I think Tosh had pointed out that there were only like 12 foreigners at the Korakuen show. But I digress. Like I said, all you really need is to have $50 to sign up for the club and an address in Japan.
And just because Al, I don't think, mentioned it, he didn't get like good seats. He was in the front row, like a real Yakuza. He was just in the front row, chilling with gangsters and other seedy characters and probably celebrities. Marie Kondo was probably in the front row. Fucking Terrace House was there. Everybody was there. And Al.
Quite the contrary, man. It was just a lot of fucking families with insane point and shoot cameras. And there was this one dude, for whatever reason, out of all the wrestlers he could have took photos of, he took at least 6 Jeff Cobb photos at the beginning. And that was real crazy. I don't know why, but he did. Like,
oh, I know why. I know why he took those photos.
We don't see these beef men in Japan like Jeff Cobb, man. That's an import. We're getting these pics, man. Where was I going with this? But yeah, I landed royal seats at Wrestle Kingdom, and you might have saw me on New Japan World at Korakuen. I think the best shot of me was during the Roppongi 3K entrance, and I just looked really confused. But yeah, that's how you do it for people that have emailed me. I think about like 5 or 10 people messaged me like, dude, how did you land this? And it's because I had $50. It's because I had some luck on my side, and it's because I knew someone that lived there. So that's what you need. All 3 of those things to land some seats. But yeah, should we just go match by match?
Sure. So, but
let's get into where you were at. Like, were you just watching in the morning?
No, I was gonna, and then Brady, who listens to the show, and JB, they wanted to watch it over Brady's house. So I actually waited until he got out of work, because I took the day off like a responsible person.
Nice.
Because I was just going to watch it in the morning. But he wanted to watch it, so I avoided social media for probably the longest in my life since social media was invented. So all day, and then we watched it over his house.
At 3 a.m., 3 to like 5 or 6?
Oh, yeah. To say 5 or 6 at night, yeah.
That is insane.
It was insane, trust me. I played a lot of video games. I read, like, I did a lot of stuff I haven't done in a long time.
All right, we'll just go down a match by match.
Before a match, so you get there.
Yeah.
Is it kind of overwhelming sitting in the front row of such a big stadium like that?
Yeah, so I can't read Japanese, so I dropped my sumimasen to a staff member, and I just pointed, to my ticket, and he was like, "Come with me." And we walked to the bottom, and I was like, "I know we got good seats." But I didn't know how good of seats we got until he sat us like in row 2, like dead center. And I was like, holy shit, like this is really happening. Like I'm going to be really close to a Wrestle Kingdom. I think I paid $470 for one seat. And to me, I think that's great value, because I think for WrestleMania, they charge $3,000 or $4,000. So
yeah, I think 400's like Raw front row. So
yeah, I was like, I'll do this all day, like twice on Sunday, no problem. And so yeah, I've been to the Tokyo Dome before, and I think it was overwhelming then, because I watched baseball there, and I was like, well, holy shit, I'm in this building that I've kind of like fantasized about as like a teenager, or since I was a teenager.
Yeah,
and so like I kind of knew the lay of the land, but I didn't know how close I would be until I got there. So, not my first time there, but it was still pretty crazy.
Okay, so I guess we start the matches. Do we have to talk? Do you have anything notable about the 6-man gauntlet thing?
I do. So as you all know, Lance Archer, he's into spitting on people when he comes out, and he came out, and I was like, "This is where I pay. This is where I atone for cheating the Japanese, and winning that lottery as a non." A resident of Japan here. I thought I was totally gonna get spit on. Luckily enough, I didn't. So, I was able to watch this match in peace. It was kind of sad to see Minoru Suzuki on a pre-show though. Other than that, this was okay.
Yeah, we were watching. We were just bullshitting the whole time, because it's like, it's whatever. I thought it was gonna at least be like somewhat comedic, but it wasn't even comedic. It was just like was a 6-man gauntlet. It wasn't fun. I don't give a shit about. I don't even really like tag teams that much. So to put an extra guy on the tag team, come on. What is this? This is 2019. We don't need this shit.
Yeah, a lot of people were bummed about not having the Rambo this year, and I didn't care until I was there. I think I would have saw the Rambo instead.
Yeah.
Next up, this led off the card, and I was pumping the tires on this. I was like, this is going to be the best opening match in wrestling history. Move over, Owen versus Brett, WrestleMania 10. It was Will Ospreay versus Kota Ibushi for the Never Openweight Championship. This match was pretty good. It didn't exceed these like insane expectations that I had. I do have to point out though that at the end of that match where Will Ospreay absolutely like decapitates Kota Ibushi, that was frightening. I thought Kota Ibushi was fucking dead. But I thought this match was pretty good. What'd you think?
Yeah, this match was pretty good. It was way violent. Kota Ibushi got a real shoot concussion from this match, from getting kicked in the fucking head. That crazy elbow skimming off the head move is pretty nuts too. This was good. It wasn't like, oh my God, this is definitely going to be the best match of the night. So I wasn't like completely blown away, but I think it lived up to it though.
I'm going to call it, man. I think Will Ospreay is going to make the finals of the G1. You going to buy, sell, or trade on this one?
The way New Japan looks right now, I could see that happening.
I think he's making the finals.
I think they got to realize this guy's, he's a pretty special guy, I would say. So as far as I know, it's cool to fucking hate on this guy for some reason. I know he seems like kind of a dipshit on social media. I don't give a fuck about stuff like that, but I think it's still cool. Like people like make like he's somehow a bad wrestler or something, but he's not. He's very good at it. So I could see that.
Have you seen his finisher? What the fuck, man? Hate on that, man. Shit's incredible. My goodness. You want to just crisscross or?
Yeah, the next one was the 3-way tag match, which was LIJ's Bushi and Shingo versus Suzuki Gun. Kanemaru, who's a guy I always forget is a guy. Like I can't even picture what he looks like right now. So, and El Desperado versus Roppongi 3K. Oh, this is the junior tag title. So I'm guessing you might have took a little bathroom break during this match. Am I right?
I didn't.
That's what I just wanted to ask though. Since you're so close, do you have to walk like 3 miles to get to the bathroom?
Okay, this is where it kind of sucked. So, in short, yes. So since we were sitting so close to the guardrail, you have to I would say from the floor to the stairs, it was maybe 2 or 3 basketball court lengths. So imagine that, and then having to scale the stairs, and then having to line up for the bathroom. So I think the Tokyo Dome was built in the late 80s. And so I've been to some new modern stadiums, and it's a little outdated. The bathroom situation is definitely outdated. So my brother and I were hitting the sauce pretty hard. So I had to make this journey a couple of times, and it was kind of annoying, but have to make do.
Well, anyway, for the match though, there was kind of an overlying theme. Then this match was kind of the beginning of it, which was that all of the people that were about to go to AEW were pretty bad matches. I wouldn't say pretty. They just weren't that great. This is the first one. This match was under 7 minutes long, and it's a 3-way junior tag match, which is, I don't know. They usually always have the 3-way or 4-way junior tag match, and I pretty much tuned out. It was kind of I turned around, and then Bushi and Shingo were just the champions, and that was about it.
Yeah, I think this match was just the Shingo show. They were look how buff and look how good this guy is. And I thought that was cool for 6 minutes. I had no problem with it. The next match was Zack Sabre Jr. and Tomohiro Ishii. This was another match I was really pumped about. Sadly, my guy, the Stone Pitbull, he lost. He fucking tapped out, and it was under 12 minutes. So I was I might have to call my credit card company and complain about this. I was not very happy with this result at all, but I thought it was a decent match.
Yeah, this was the match I was most hyped for pretty much the entire show. I was this is the match I'm looking forward to the most. I've become pretty decent fan of Zack Sabre Jr. over the past year. We started this podcast kind of joking about him just being the white guy in panties, the titular white guy in panties. But I think his New Japan run over the past years was pretty great. He's kind of a dickhead in interviews. He does all these weird submissions. And Ishii is Ishii, and he doesn't, unfortunately, for the most of the year now, doesn't really get a time to shine. And it's kind of just magical that he was not just in the 6-man gauntlet like a lot of other people. And so I was like, this is it, man. This is he's gonna bring the rice out, because how many more of these does he have in him? He's getting older, but it was decent. Not to compare star ratings with Dave Meltzer, but I think he gave this like 4.5 stars or something. I don't know about that, but it was a decent match. It didn't live up to the hype in my head because I thought this was going to be the most amazing match, but yeah, you know, it wasn't a letdown. Or it was a letdown, but it wasn't like a crazy letdown. So I was kind of underwhelmed, and that sucked. But hey,
I forgot to bring this up, but for all the shit I give about the Tokyo Dome, their sound system is pretty nice. And when that Ishii theme music hit, I at least wanted to shake the guardrail because I was really fucking fired up about that. That theme song just rings off in a stadium. That's some stadium music, my friends.
Next up was another 3-way tag match. This was LIJ's Sonata and Evil versus Guerrillas of Destiny, versus Bad Luck Fale. Versus the Young Bucks. Wait, were the Young Bucks not in the other match?
Yeah, you were talking about how this started to trend with AEW guys looking like hoes, and I was like, wait a second.
Oh, no, yeah, it was this match. I'm sorry. Yeah. But yeah, I would just, apply what I said to match 3 to this one. This was kind of just a whatever match. I'm not a fan of Guerrillas of Destiny. I think they've kind of turned the corner where they've been around a lot enough where, like, chin strokers want to seem like they're subversive or something. They say, yeah, the Guerrillas of Destiny, they're secretly really good. And it's like, I guess, I don't see it. They don't really do anything for me. They're just like, they're like the more serious Usos, I guess. And I don't know. And, Sonata and Evil are fine, but I'm glad they won. But it was tag team wrestling, and I don't really care. But yeah, the Young Bucks were pretty much like a nothing in this match, and it's kind of because probably they were leaving.
Friend of the show, Ian, pointed out that the Guerrillas of Destiny, I guess they're doing some kind of like Army of Two cosplay. So they got some new helmets, and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Oh man, I didn't even Army of Two didn't even cross my mind as why they were wearing those stupid helmets.
Yeah, they had some glow up helmets, and I was like, I think they just brought them out for the dome, and I respect that. Yeah, like the Shingo thing earlier, this was just like, hey, look how good Sonata is. He's going to be a thing this year, and I'm about that. That this dude, I think he hit like 37 topes in like 3 minutes, and I was like, that has to be like A1, the most physically taxing thing someone has done in wrestling. It was crazy to watch live. Next up was Juice Robinson versus Cody. Speaking of bathroom breaks, everyone in Japan took one, literally. There was just sections like cleared the fuck out to go pee. So I think, I don't know if I looked at the match listing beforehand, but I was like, I gotta get a jump start here. And that line was fucking brolic. It was nuts. I didn't see this match at all. I was in line waiting to go pee because highballs and beer were a thing at the Tokyo Dome, and I had to go use the bathroom. Did you watch this? Yeah,
this was a very surprising match. Not surprising because it was good, but they just had Juice Robinson just beat the shit out of Cody like he was a nobody. Oh. And it wasn't like he completely squashed him, but he just kind of beat him with one finisher. That's unheard of in New Japan at this point. Yeah, I was like, whoa. It was just like kind of beat him with one finisher, and I was like, oh, they're definitely leaving. Like, they're definitely not coming back to New Japan after this match. So it was surprising. It wasn't great, just to see him get beat that quick. But it's good to hear confirmation that just everybody went to go use the bathroom. It makes sense though.
Yeah.
Next up was Taiji Ishimori versus Kushida for the Junior Heavyweight Championship. This is probably the highlight of the night for me. Was Kushida's crazy scary mask, because he came out and I couldn't tell what the fuck was going on, but I've put 2 and 2 together that he got a very realistic looking mask of himself made, slightly bigger than it should be, and put it on a child, and it was a really creepy visual. And so that was probably the highlight of the night for me. The match, I honestly don't remember that much. It's been a while. It's been a couple weeks. I think, Kushida lost, and that's good for Ishimori, I guess, because, he's the Bone Soldier, so he's no joke anymore. The Bone Soldier got some gold. Can't make fun of the Bone Soldier, but, I guess the surprising news was, like, it was later found out that Kushida was leaving WWE, leaving New Japan, which, I remember, like, hearing rumors about that before this. Not directly before, but, like, months ago or something, and it just seems like, why would they want this dude? And why would he want to go there? But, I don't know. Maybe he's just that much of a fan of Back to the Future that maybe he wants to, like, recreate it in his life and just, like, move to whatever town that takes place in, or, live out the rest of his days here. Or maybe Nakamura was just like, this shit's really easy here. So, I don't know. But I, from what I remember, it was a decent match again. To be honest, nothing really blew me away at this point. Still at this point, the best match was still Will Ospreay and Kota Ibushi, which was so long ago at this point. But, this was like, whatever for me.
Yeah, I was coming back from the bathroom and Kushida was coming out and I was like, why does he look so tiny? And then they cut to this like mask and I was like, that looks really realistic. And I didn't know if I was like fucked up. I was just so confused. I got back to my seat and I watched this in full. It was fine. 11 minutes. I was like, I thought it'd get a little more time, but from what I saw, I thought it was okay. I was like, I was like, not the worst thing I've ever seen, but I'm going to forget about this like in 20 minutes. This is where I think the card really picks up. So Jay White, he wrestled Kazuchika Okada. The promo video that aired before this, like, this got a huge reaction live. They were really into this promo work here. So kudos to the New Japan team for assembling that video. So I think up until then, people were like really high on the Ospreay Ibushi match. But once Okada showed his thighs, like the reaction in the Tokyo Dome was deafening, especially in my section, because I think I yelled my fucking face off. Like, I couldn't tell. Like, he had like this like really long, like what looked like a skirt, and I was like, it could happen. It could happen. He might be wearing shorts, and then he pulled out the gams, and I lost my fucking mind, and so did everyone else in my section. I thought this match was like exceptional, especially like the last 5 or 6 minutes. I think you had pointed out on Twitter, like, not pointed out, but you had wished that there was a camera on me when Jay White pinned Okada after hitting his what's his finisher called? The Switchblade? Is that what it's really called? The Switchblade?
No, it's called eat the blade or sniff the blade or something like that.
Yeah, okay. So when Jay White did the sniff the blade and he pinned him clean as a sheet, I just buried my face in my hands. So that was my reaction. I was really sad. But with that said, I thought it was a really good match. What'd you think?
That's probably benefit of being there live, I would assume. Not that I thought this match sucked or anything, but Brady called that he was going to be not wearing pants when he tore that other thing off, but I was like looking at it, I was like, it still looks like there's pants underneath there, but he did a really good job of hiding it because there was no pants underneath there and people did go nuts. I thought this match was okay. I kind of had a hunch that they're going to let Jay White win because it makes sense the way they're going, but it just seems kind of crazy at the same time. So I was willing to accept if he had like this blowaway match that I'd be like, I'm fine with it. He's the new Kenny Omega. That makes sense. But I didn't think the match was all that great. And yeah, he kind of just beat him. Like, he just beat him. Not as bad as Juice Robinson beat Cody, but pretty shockingly. And I guess it was cool to see that shock. I do imagine seeing Okada live that close is probably pretty amazing. So I could see the difference of seeing this live versus at home.
Yeah, he absolutely felt like a huge star, like in person in Tokyo Dome when that rain was falling. Oh, and I think people caught on to his music not being remixed, and so like that built up some tension. Like, are we getting that old feeling back? Are we going to get that old feeling back? And then he showed his fucking thighs, and sure enough, we got that old feeling back.
So next up is the co-main event, or the semi-main event. It was Tetsuya Naito versus Chris Jericho for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. I kind of had low expectations going into this match. I didn't think Chris Jericho could capture lightning in a bottle twice with from last year, because I think last year was a shock that his match was so good. And this was kind of a repeat. This match was pretty fucking great. And I was like, at the ending of this, I was like, I don't think the main event's going to top this, because this was a really good match for what it was. I didn't think Naito would really, I guess, mesh well with Chris Jericho doing his old man Chris Jericho, just kind of like brawling and shit. But yeah, I thought this was a super good match. I don't know if it was better than last year. I don't know. I'm not going to go back and watch them like a weirdo, but I don't know. I think at the time I felt it was better than last year, but I don't know. I would have to go back and watch that one with Kenny Omega. But what did you think seeing this live though? Because they did a lot of outside of the ring shit, so I don't know if it was as good live.
Speaking of theme songs that ring off in stadiums, Judas is up there. Got real fired up for that one. Yeah, man. I saw the table spot in full where Naito pretty much just like lands on top of his skull, and that was horrifying. Yeah, I'm really into like barroom brawler Chris Jericho for the next like 5 years. I was super into this match, and I don't know, for whatever reason, I thought Jericho was just going to walk away with it again because they're into making Naito look like a total asshole. So I was like, it's possible. I was just kind of like on the fence on who would win here. So there was a lot of tension internally for me. Naito pulls it out for those that don't know. And, yeah, in some, it was like a super, super fun match to watch live. The main event was Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Kenny Omega. Yeah, they played that. I don't know what game they referenced for Kenny Omega's little deal here, but they played that live, and I think people were just kind of confused about what was going on. Like, they didn't really get, like, I guess in that video, like, he was taking digs at, like, Tanahashi using cortisone shots, and, like, no one understands this. Like, they were just okay, we get it, man. This is video games. You like video games. You're a Super Potato. Like, okay, like, I get it, man. And he came out in that costume. I think people were just, like, shrugging about it. Tanahashi came out. Also very big fight feel when he came out as well. This match it felt long, but I was thoroughly entertained. I kind of just figured that Tanahashi had the win in the bag just because of, not to sound like a dork, but we all know Kenny Omega's contract status. Yeah, and so like they just can't let him walk with the belt while having his contract in limbo. So not a whole lot of like intrigue for me there, but I thought this was like a really good match. 39 minutes. I don't know. I could have done with 5 minutes less, but I mean, overall, like I thought it was a pretty entertaining main event.
Oh yeah, I thought this was great. This was beyond my expectations. Like I said, I didn't think it would be better than the last match, but this is really good. I know in the past, I kind of, I think everybody busts Kenny Omega's balls for his dumb shit that he does, but I think he really proved that he's the fucking best, man. Like, because I was like, he did all that shit with Okada. That's fine. Okada's really good. Not that Tanahashi isn't good too, but I just didn't think they would have like the same caliber, or I didn't think he would have the same caliber match he had with Okada with Tanahashi. And, he brought it all out. I thought this was worthy of being the main event, worthy of being his probably final match in New Japan, or at least for a little while, his final match. And, yeah, I thought it was the perfect main event. I was kind of on the fence. Is like, maybe they'll give him the belt. He can always lose it tomorrow. I know that wasn't going to probably really happen, but they could do something weird with it. But no, he lost, and it was a great match. I will say, I think my interest in New Japan after this is a lot lower than it has been for the past couple of years. I'm kind of intrigued by things like, so you probably saw the announcement in the stadium that they were going to do 2 days in Tokyo Dome last year, I would assume, right? They played that in the stadium?
Yeah, I was waiting in line to buy some fucking chip stars and some beer. And they dropped the 1-5 Tokyo Dome, and yeah, people are having like aneurysms and shit. They were going nuts, and I was like, "Wow, it's going to be kind of a feat to pull off, like two days in a row. How are they going to do it?"
Yeah, that's the thing. I was like, this might be a bad time to do that, but yeah, to go into the next day, because you were there too. I was kind of expecting them to have like all these crazy new storylines in place, since they're like kind of losing a bunch of people. they have to elevate a bunch of people. I was on my real fantasy booker shit, and I was like, they're gonna dissolve like every single faction except for LIJ and just, you know, start from the beginning or something. But no, they just added a bunch of more bozos to the Bullet Club, and that's about it. So
I thought I'd get your take on this regarding the main event. You want to talk about Super Booker stuff? Yeah. Do you feel a type of way about Tanahashi not being able to kick out of the One Wing Angel?
No, I don't feel a type of way about it, I guess.
I feel a huge type of way, man. They should have let him fucking do it, dude. Should have let him do it. That'd have been hot. Well, they didn't do it. That's fine. But yeah, what were your overall thoughts about Wrestle Kingdom?
I thought it was good. I think it might have been better than last year, because last year wasn't that great. They had the Minoru Suzuki match, the Jericho match, and the Omega Okada match. Yeah, you know, I guess, you know, there's only a couple matches on this one. I would say they were on par. Maybe one's not better than the other. I think they're both equally entertaining. I did feel like this one was the fastest moving one since they started, but I don't know if you felt that way since you were there live, and that's a whole different feeling. But I felt like this one, also, this is the first one I think I've watched with other people, so that's probably why it moved a little faster. But it seems, because you're always like, man, this shit's going to be 5 hours long, but I felt like it kind of flew by.
I think it flew by for two reasons. One, I was watching wrestling at like a human time, which I think the show started at 4:00 as opposed to midnight, which was when I was watching previous Wrestle Kingdoms.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, this show, I think it was 4 hours, and it definitely felt super fast live. And like looking at the match times, it makes a lot of sense. Like, I didn't know the junior tag match was only 7 minutes long. I kind of hoped that like some other matches like had a little bit more time. See Zack Sabre Jr. versus Ishii. Kushida, Ishimori, I wish had like a couple more minutes. But I think overall, like the pacing was like really, really fast, and this show was super fun to watch. Are you going to Japan this year? Are you going to watch some wrestling or what?
I'm going to try, man. We got to find somebody to watch our cats. If you're in Chicago area and you are a cat sitter, if you're a pro cat sitter, please get at me, because we don't want to leave our cats just in the house to fend for themselves. So we need cat sitters before we plan any vacations.
I've never had a cat. Don't you just need like an automated like little device that drops food like every 5 hours, or no?
Not to get in a cat chat, but they're like fucking real. I don't know. They're real weird about eating. That's like their one hang up. So I feel like they would do something real bad if there wasn't anybody there.
You have to feed them by hand or what? You have to like bird feed them?
No,
What the fuck?
we have the robot feeder for their dry food, but they also eat wet food, and I don't know. That's like the one time they get crazy is about, I think like they just like never got to eat when they were like kittens or whatever or something, because they're like real serious about eating. Like the most serious I've ever had like any animal be in my life about eating, where they need you to feed them, and I don't know. So we need somebody. I mean, I wish they were the type of cat I could just like pour like 7 pounds of food on the floor and just leave for the week, but I don't think it's gonna cut it with them, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's how dogs work, dude. Just like leave out just like a bag of food and just like see what happens. Dogs are fucking tough, man.
It's one of those things, getting into some more virtual pros chat, that I take for granted when living in New York, because when you live in New York, there are like 8 million people ready to watch your pets like any moment, because there's so many people that live in New York that have unconventional jobs. So they're like, yeah, fuck, I'll watch your cats. I don't have to go to an office. But that is, and plus we don't really have many friends here. So I don't really know anybody here that's like down to watch cats for a minute. But.
Yo, Chicago office, man, watch Mike's pets, dude. He wants to go travel. What the fuck?
Yeah, seriously, it sucks. But yeah, so I'm more interested, how was the next day in Kurikan Hall? Because that's like, it's one thing to be in the Tokyo Dome in the front row, but you're pretty close there too, and that's another thing that's off limits to the foreigners. And I will say, you know, I don't need to talk about this card match for match, or this match, whatever. I'm stumbling. I don't need to talk about it match for match or anything, because it was kind of not notable wrestling wise. But how was that vibe altogether?
No, I'll say that the Will Ospreay 6-man tag was actually super good live. I think Dave, he was high on it as well. Not to flex, but sort of flexing. I've been to the Korakuen Hall for Dragon Gate. For those that don't know, I fell asleep on TV.
Oh yeah,
so that was embarrassing.
True, I forgot.
And that match was, or not that match, but that card was like pretty packed too. How was the vibe? Naito, he knocked over my brother's chair and he fell on my lap. That was crazy.
He was like, I know those guys don't belong here. I'm gonna fuck them up.
The young lions were just like shoving us and shit, and I was like, yeah, abuse me. That's cool. I know how this goes. But yeah, nothing notable. I thought there'd be some like crazy run-ins, but I mean, it was cool to be there live that close. What was I gonna say? It just slipped. I was hoping to boo the shit out of Kenny Omega because I thought he was going to do like the whole like bowing thing because he was dipping. But he didn't. He was a coward. Jay White got on the mic and I was like, man, fuck this. Tanahashi gave me a high five. It's on the Virtual Pros Instagram. I hit the air guitar afterwards. That was also super fun. Korakuen Hall is like a very intimate venue for wrestling. I think it only holds like under 1,500 people. So you're really up in there if you watch wrestling. So if you get a chance to watch wrestling at Korakuen Hall, I definitely recommend it. I think there's like shows every weekend, so you have no excuse to if you're there in Japan. You got to watch wrestling there. It's incredible.
Well, Rich Al here is telling people they need to go watch wrestling 7 million miles away. We'll all get on top of that, Rich Al.
Hey man, people are getting the tax returns. Just put it away, man. It's not that expensive. Fly out of LA. If you fly to LA, you can get a ticket like out of LAX to Tokyo for like sub 500. That's like a PS4. People buy PS4s all the time and they're broke, dude. It's the same shit. Go see the world. Don't play video games for like a little bit. Yeah. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Are we gonna do the 2018 awards or not?
Yeah, we'll have a full episode in a couple of weeks. We're gonna do our year end awards, which is, it's been a while. This is late too, we'll have a mixtape. We'll be back at it then. I kind of wanted to ease into this since we've had a break and I haven't really been paying attention. And Al's just getting back from fucking 3-month long trip or however long it's been. So,
dude, this episode, although I think it was good, I feel insane right now because I'm still on Asia time. So right now my body is like at 4 a.m. And these are the kind of lengths that we go to, Vertbags, to make a show for you. So please appreciate it for 2019. Please. We'll be back in 2 weeks.